live here. Oh. Live. Alright, so if you guys can please let me know in the chat. But we're just going to get started here. I'm going to give it a couple minutes to join, and we are going to start with Fruit Talk, and then we're going to start with our Q&A. We'll do this for a couple hours. So, if you guys can hear me once again, please let me know in the chat by saying hello, anything. Hey, all right, we're good. I'm doing very good. How are you doing? I forget your name. Is it Rob? I believe it's Rob, right? R Figs. I forget your name on the forum there. Rigo. My apologies. My brother's name's Rob, so I'm fading in and out. Okay. If I can. Slight lag. Am I fading in and out, or is it actually connection problem perhaps? But we will begin at 9 o'clock, everyone. Then that way, is that better, by the way? If I hold it closer to my mouth? On and off. One second to see if I can fix this. Is that better? I don't know why this is having a problem. Oh, you know what? Okay, I can fix this. Okay, so you can hear me fine, but when I talk, there's some background noise, right? That's kind of how it should be, because there's so much background noise behind me that I just can't control the noise, that I have to put a noise gate on the microphone. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry, guys. You're just going to have to deal with that until I find a workaround for it. But I have a noise gate on the microphone specifically to try to block out that background noise, and only when I talk. I know it's pain, but if you had to listen to it all the time throughout this live stream, it'd probably be even. Okay. All right, so we're just getting everyone here. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. And everyone that's gave me feedback just now, I appreciate it. So we're gonna start the live stream at 9 o'clock exactly, like I said a little earlier in the video. We're going to start off with Fruit Talk. For those of you guys who've been watching that, I really appreciate that. It's a little bit of a podcast style video that we do every Wednesday night at this time. And I'm trying to make it more of a thing because I really enjoy podcasts. I like listening to podcasts. I like watching them. It's a lot of fun. And if there's one about fruit that I don't really know of, I'd love to hear it. If you guys know of one, I would love to listen to it. I know there's a couple out there that I think they talk more about like farming and stuff like that. But none of them, I believe, maybe I'm wrong, are about kind of the things that I'm talking about in my video, like the weird fruit kind of things that all of us hobbyists love to talk about and obsess over. Oh, Wayne, that's pretty cool. You had a nice persimmon. Yeah, they're amazing. We're gonna talk a lot about persimmons, I think, because I want to talk about figs, but persimmons are seriously becoming. They already are my second favorite. So. Anyway, hello everyone. I'm gonna get to everyone's question at some point in this video. And I wish I could say hello to everybody right now, but there's so many messages. Why? But anyway, guys, we're gonna start off with fruit talk, so let's do that right now. This is the podcast style video that we do for you guys every Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern. And I try to make it a little bit different and things that we talk about outside of my actual videos. If you guys follow me on Facebook, which you guys can follow me here, or Instagram, follow me here, instagram.com/RossRaddi. Yes, you guys follow me there. We're going to go over this at a later point in the video. But this is the kind of stuff that I talk about in a way on Fruit Talk. So, all the weird things that I kind of encounter throughout my week, I put this stuff on here, and then that way, I don't usually make a video out of this stuff. Sometimes I do. This is the first tasting video that we did. This way you guys get more content or on this kind of social media. Please give me a follow here. It really does help. So this is the kind of stuff we like to talk about on Fruit Talk. Anything related to fruit, anything that's been going on the channel. I like to get to your guys' comments. Like if there's a question that I really came across that I found it was interesting and needed more explaining than just a couple words or maybe an announcement. This is the kind of thing we like to talk about. In today's episode of Fruit Talk, we're going to be talking about potato onions. We're going to be talking about the German butterball potato. And we're going to talk about Swiss chard. We're going to talk about hybrid raspberries and hybrid blackberries. And we're going to be talking about wine because in today's video, those of you guys who like wine, I'm going to be drinking wine, and this is the wine that I'm drinking. No, I'm not being sponsored by wine. This is a wine that my uncle brought to Christmas this year. Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates Christmas. Happy holidays. Everyone have a great new year. But this wine is incredible for the price. So I highly recommend it. I've only really recently gotten a wine, but you guys know that I love the taste thing. I would say I have a pretty decent palate, and this wine certainly impresses me for the price. $15. The bottle I'm drinking here is a 2013. So it's no slurring. But anyway, if you guys want to join in with me and drink something in this video, we're going to be doing this for a couple hours. So I'm certainly going to be sipping on some wine as I go. The great thing about this wine, guys, and a good wine that I think most people overlook, I don't really want to spend $50, $60 on a bottle of wine. That's absurd, right? But there are incredible wines out there for those of you who have not experienced the point where you only really need to take a sip, right? That's it. You're good for like the next, 5-10 minutes. Some of these wines really linger on your palate. You can really pick that up for quite a bit of time, and that way you don't really get drunk off of this. Really nice kind of heart cherry juice. That's pretty accurate. But yeah, you can taste the oak, the wood. Whatever it is they're using, it's just very apparent in this wine. So most wines that I've tried that are cheap are like either too dry, sweet, too much alcohol. You don't really get too much of that oak taste in it. These things are it's like a perfect balance this week. And I haven't really found a cheap wine that is of this quality. So I'm pretty impressed by my uncle's taste, because my uncle brought this, like I said. He really knows his stuff, I guess. The guy's definitely a wine connoisseur, but I'm impressed. So anyway, enough about the wine. Let's talk about potato onions, because potato onions are something that I have heard about quite a bit for years now, and I've wanted to grow these things. They're similar to shallots, like it says here on the website, but these are not exactly, I think, shallot-like flavor. Like a lot of Cajun cooking. If Cajun be, Brian, if you're watching, these are not, I don't think they're exactly similar. It says here, yeah, flavor is not as strong and smooth, but not as pungent as Stuttgarter. I don't know what Stuttgarter. I would assume that these are kind of a little bit more mild. You know what? They behave like shallots or even garlic. Like garlic, you put one clove in the ground and then they multiply and have more cloves, right? These and shallots, well, you put one onion in the ground and then they multiply into more onions. Kind of like a similar thing, that it's kind of perennial in that way. It's easier, I think, to manage and to cultivate. And because of that, growing onions from seed is less appealing to me. We are going to be growing onions for the first time this year. Walla Walla onions, those of you guys who've grown them, they have a huge reputation of being an exceptional onion in the northern latitudes. So we're going to do that, but like I said, sowing a seed every year versus putting a clove in the ground or putting a shallot or a potato onion in the ground, it's just not as appealing. So, oh yeah, you like that, Rigo? I don't know too many people who are growing potato onions. I know a couple people who are growing shallots. I feel like they're a little overlooked, and it really would be to your benefit, I think, to research these guys. I'm going to pick up probably like a half a pound from this website. I know this is a pretty reputable woman here, or nursery. I don't know who it is that runs it, but I've heard a lot about the Maine Potato Lady before. She does a really nice job. She sells mostly potatoes and probably other root crops, shallots, onion sets, potatoes. I also heard about this potato here. And potatoes, I'm not a big fan of growing potatoes or onions because they're so cheap. You know what I mean? Like, I only have so much room to grow these things, so why kind of take up a lot of space to grow something that's so cheap? But the way I look at it is that most root crops are just kind of have a lot of heavy metals in them. They may have a lot of things that are not really that great for us, right? If you get them at the store. Certainly, I think if you're going to buy any kind of root crop, we should be buying them organically, or buy them, not organically, but buy organic root crops for sure. I think the heavy metals, a lot of farmers do, is they put a lot of root crops in their fields to kind of bring up those heavy metals out of the soil. And those heavy metals get put into the actual food that you're eating, which is not really healthy. So in a way, you're like, okay, they're cheap, but they're not really that healthy for us. And you know what? Potatoes, carrots, and onions, and pretty much every other root crop, I'm sure, is way better if you grow it. So onions, I know, are better for sure. Carrots, I know, are better for sure. And potatoes are definitely better for sure, because the potato doesn't get that tough skin. You get the really small potatoes, have a really thin skin on them. They're really nutty, really creamy. They're amazing. Adam, I did find another type of onion that I would grow, but I'm only going to do Walla Walla this year, called Elsa Craig, I believe is the name of it. That's another heirloom. So I'm all about heirlooms as of like the last couple months, guys. These heirlooms, they're more highly adapted to my area, and I'd rather just put in less work. In terms of my annual vegetables, it's all about the least amount of work I can do, and growing it in the smallest amount of space. But this potato here, German butterball, is what I was getting to. This is like highly regarded as one of, or if not the best potato you can grow. So for flavor, if I'm going to grow a root crop that's super cheap in the store, I'm going to be growing German butterball, right? Because it's the tastiest. Or I'm going to be growing Yukon Gold, right? So if Yukon Gold is another one that's really tasty, I better be getting something that's really tasty compared to what I can get at the store. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time, right? So I think this is what I'll do is I'll probably get a couple of these German butterballs here, plant them, and see if I can kind of get them, every single year. I'll do it probably the Back to Eden garden style. For those of you guys who have watched his videos, he basically harvests them and plants them on the same day. Which this year I tried something different. I tried to harvest them, and then I tried to get them to green sprout. I put them in the sun, I put them in a warm location, trying to get them to sprout out new seeds because Yukon Gold is so early, right? It's only 90 days. I can plant them, I think, April 1st in my location. So plant Yukon Gold April 1st. 90 days later, you're halfway through my season. If you could get them to sprout, you could get a second crop of potatoes, but it didn't work out. I couldn't get them to sprout. I think they need a little bit more time to do that than what it was work out to. An experiment nonetheless, but pretty cool that, and I really think everyone should try these experiments. Don't necessarily listen to everything everyone tells you, including myself. Don't listen to what all the books are telling you. Just try something new, see what happens. I think it's the best part of gardening is that there's a million ways to do the same thing. So pretty cool. But anyway, hey Tarek, what's going on? Let's see. Let's go on to Swiss chard. And somebody, I don't know the viewer's name. I forget the name. But I did a video on my garden plans for this year. You guys can go back and watch that video if you want. It should be somewhere over here. My 2019 garden plans. New and interesting crops. Because I feel like I'm really growing a lot of new stuff this year, as always. A lot of this stuff is pretty interesting that I think a lot of people have never heard of. And one of the things that one of my viewers mentioned was that I should grow something called perpetual spinach. I looked it up because Swiss chard is one of the few leafy greens that actually does really well in my area. I don't have to care for it. Plant the seed. Grows from seed, no problem. I never water it. I never bother it. It's so easy. And it tastes good too. To me, the variety of Swiss chard, nobody agrees with me. Like I've handed it out to friends, my girlfriend, family. I've given it to them and said, this tastes like shrimp to me. They don't agree. But to me, Swiss chard tastes a little bit like shrimp if you get it at a young, tender stage. But it's super easy to grow. And then this guy, whoever it was, mentioned to me, thank you, whoever that was, maybe you're watching right now, they said grow perpetual spinach. Hey Gil, what's going on, man? And perpetual spinach has a little bit of differences between Swiss chard, and it tastes more like a spinach. Which is pretty cool, because spinach is impossible to grow here, at least in my yard. So my yard, I only have so many beds. Most of the beds get a lot of afternoon or midday sun. A lot of them don't get that morning sun. If you get the morning sun, you kind of get different color temperatures coming in from the sunlight, right? The afternoon sun really likes to increase fruiting, flowering. It kind of triggers that in the plant. And if you get morning sun, it's more all about growth and less about fruiting and flowering. So I don't really have a spot in my yard that I can put spinach and arugula and all these other greens that seem to bolt really quickly. I can't really put them there in morning sun. I don't have a location like that. But if I can grow a Swiss chard that tastes just like spinach, that's a win-win. You know what? This stuff is not like, I've heard of other spinaches out there, like Egyptian longevity spinach. There's a few out there that really love like super hot climates, but those I feel like are more adapted to like Arizona or like some really warm climate like California, whereas this, I'm betting, is like pretty adapted to my location. So rather than trying to grow something that belongs in a a desert, I think this is probably a really good option. Another option that Baker Creek sells is this variety here, Verde de Taglio. And this one, apparently, to them is extremely tender and sweet. I bet you this one, just by looking at the leaf, it's not really your typical Swiss chard leaf that seems a bit rough, kind of like kale where you have to really cook it down. I'm betting that this variety here, you could really pick it, at a more tender stage and eat it raw in a salad rather than having to cook it down like a lot of people do most of their Swiss. So, interesting. Move on now, but this here is called a musk strawberry. And this is something I just heard about as well. You guys know how I have alpine strawberries and I have Mar de Bois strawberries? They have this really intense wild strawberry flavor. I heard that a musk strawberry is even more intense than an alpine strawberry. So the one I'm thinking about getting here is Caprone or Profumata. I haven't done a whole lot of research on these. If anyone has any information, I'd love to hear about it. But it looks like here you need males, which is really not something I'm interested in because I already have a lot of strawberries as it is. But if I need a female strawberry and a male strawberry, I'm kind of going to make this a little bit more difficult and something I'm not going to want to do as much. So I don't know if that's the case, but if they need pollination, I think I may skip out on these. It doesn't seem to say, but Rain Tree Nursery here carries them. Yeah, I don't know, but if they're as good as Alpines and they're better, that's awesome. History Treehouse, see you later. Thanks for joining in. But let's move on from that. We're almost done, guys, and we'll get to the Q&A part of this. But I put a lot of time and thought into hybrid blackberries and raspberries. A lot of them are pretty similar to blackberries or pretty similar to raspberries with very slight differences. A lot of the differences seem to come in how the plant is grown. A lot of them sprawl along the ground. They're not as erect. They're not as upright. They're a bit more difficult to manage because of that. Whereas blackberries and raspberries are so upright that it kind of fits my yard and what I'm trying to accomplish. If anybody has some kind of hybrid blackberry or raspberry that they enjoy, I'd love to hear about it. I know there's so many of them. Boysenberries, Marionberries, Loganberries. There's another one here called Thimbleberry. And I put a lot of research, actually. I almost pulled the trigger on a Thimbleberry because Thimbleberries grow in full shade. They do not need any sunlight at all. And I feel like they would make pretty good bird food. They taste a lot like raspberries, but they're very soft. How some raspberries are a bit crumbly and maybe a bit more hard. But these are like super soft raspberry that kind of is like a little bit past its prime, but it's not going bad. So because of that, I really like them more to have more texture, right? I don't necessarily want to eat something that's mush when it comes to a raspberry. So I'm thinking maybe I could just get one of these, stick it in the corner of the yard, and just let the birds have at it. Because it's a red fruit, it fruits heavily and in full shade. So I could put this thing underneath a shade tree, and the birds could have this food and kind of hopefully ignore some other things and let me have that. I don't know. I would love to see how this thing works out in terms of what season it kind of fruits in, right? If it's like super early or if it's late, or I'm interested to know more about this fruit. But hey, Steve, what's going on, man? I haven't tried deep fried spinach. We had it at one place, Philly Indie Blue. Fried spinach is so tasty. I'm going there for my birthday in a few days. You should send me a picture, Adam. I don't even know what that looks like. I'd be interested. But honeyberries, guys, I've talked a lot about honeyberries, I think. They're exceptional. And if you guys follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I posted about that on here. And this is a chart that I found that could definitely come in handy. It seems like my photos are getting cut off, by the way. But this is a honeyberry chart of different varieties, and you need to figure out what season they'll fruit in. And it'll also tell you what flavor they have. I personally want to find only honeyberries that are very sweet because I think that they're a little bit too tart and you really need to let them hang for a long time. So if I can find one that's really sweet, it's going to be something that's right up there with blueberries or maybe even better. They have an interesting complex flavor for sure. But anyway, guys, that is the end of Fruit Talk episode 12. So thank you guys for listening to me go on and on about that. I would love to get you guys in a Q&A session here now. So if I missed some questions, I'm going to scroll back up right now and see if I missed anything. Rigo asked me how I'm doing. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I had a really nice Christmas, guys. I hope everyone else did. I hope everyone's having a really nice holiday season. I hope everybody has a nice New Year. You know, pour yourselves, guys, some wine or some kind of beverage, and just enjoy the season. You know, I've been enjoying my couple days off, studying and from working. Been putting a lot of research into different things, telling different, getting, kind of set up for the plans for next year, while also creating video content for you guys. It's a bit challenging, but I've been enjoying every moment of it, and that's kind of what this video is about. So, this is kind of a big thank you to a lot of you guys for supporting me and joining me on this journey. So, cheers to everybody watching right now and everybody that is a subscriber or has even commented on any of my videos. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Okay. Still scrolling back through what I missed from you guys. Don says hello. Hey, Don. Tammy says hello from San Jose. Hello, Tammy. Wine's so good, guys. Hey, Rob, what's going on? You know, it's awesome. I've seen a lot of your guys' names for a long time. I've only been doing this for a little over 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. And it's awesome to see a lot of you guys from almost the beginning. That's the coolest thing. Like Tristan, I've seen your name for a long time, buddy. There's a lot of you guys out there. Tommy, what's going on, man? Merry Christmas. Wayne has said hello. They are sweet as candy, man. They are incredible. Tammy loves Fuyu persimmon. You know what, Tammy? I love the soft ones. I love the astringent. History Treehouse said hello, and then they left, but okay. Yeah, I don't think you guys get notifications unless you go to the channel here. I think you have to there's a bell somewhere. I don't even know where it is. I guess I'd have to sign out of my account, but there's apparently a bell that you can kind of get notifications from my videos. No one's slurring in their speech. You can't grow... What can't you grow, Rigo, in South Florida? Potatoes? Oh, you're growing potatoes right now. It's December, and it's the day after Christmas, and you're growing potatoes. Oh yeah, I can't grow tropical fruit. Unless I have a greenhouse. One day I will, in my greenhouse. Okay, so Don bought persimmon cuttings, trying to root them like figs. Nothing's happening yet. Is it possible or only by grafting? Have I tried this? I have not tried this, but I know people who have. So, Don, you can certainly root them from cutting. And I'm trying this myself this year. I stuck a bunch of Rosianca cuttings in the ground right on the outside of my tree just to see if they would take, if they would get through the winter time without too much desiccation. I'm sure there's going to be some desiccation. I just want to see if I can stick them in the ground and if it would work. I know for sure that you could put them like in the closet right next to me, guys. You can definitely root them in pots. You need to use a rooting hormone, and it's going to take some time. They're not as easy as figs. They're not as easy as pomegranates. Those are the two easiest things to root that I've come across. Tommy likes Pinot Noir. I like a good Moscato. I like sweet wines, guys. I do. I'm going to be guilty of that. I like a really nice Concord grape wine. It's like grape juice. Like Welch's grape juice, but with alcohol in it. Oh my god, Tammy just said the same exact thing. Grow some Concord grapes, make your own wine. Yeah, I should. History Treehouse grows potatoes, garlic, and leeks. Tommy just started garlic for the first time this fall. Luck. I would fertilize well with something organic. I would make sure it's in full sun, and planting it at the right time is very important. Guys, I have a new book that I got for Christmas. Growing Great Garlic. We talked about this on my Facebook and Instagram page by Ron Enkelland, and this is a definitive guide for growing garlic. I have yet to get into it, but I will be reading that first of all the books I've ordered. I ordered a bunch of books. Might as well show you guys one. Story's Guide to Raising Chickens. We're going to be raising chickens years from now. It's not going to be happening soon. The Beekeeper's Handbook. This one comes highly recommended from my girlfriend's uncle, who is a beekeeper. Has incredible bees. Does a really fantastic job. We also read through Amy Goldman's The Heirloom Tomato. We read through her melon heirloom book as well, Amy Goldman. Also picked up Epic Tomatoes. And I've figured out what a large majority of the really tasty tomatoes are. And I'm going to grow them this year. So we're going to see if they live up to the reputation that they have, and we'll see which ones. Walla Walla is amazing as an onion, for sure. There we go. What else did I miss? Yeah, the potato onions kind of do look like a potato and onion combined, I guess. I guess that's why they call them... I mean, I think they call them potato onions because they multiply, right? You stick one potato in the ground, it turns into more potatoes. Yeah, if it doesn't taste better in the store, why bother? If it doesn't taste better than the store-bought, why bother? Yeah. So you need to put them in a paper bag in a cool area. Talking about the potatoes, where you go? Growing Swiss chard, but it's working good. Something up. Yeah, they're a joke in my area, especially because if you have other brassicas along with the Swiss chard, those bugs and insects will go for the brassica. They won't go for the Swiss chard, and they're completely untouched from day one of my season. You can direct seed them about March 15th, and they're still out there right now. The day after Christmas. I can harvest Swiss chard the day after Christmas. That's the longest season crop I have. Think about that. My season's only 6 months long, and I have a crop that I could grow from, let's say, April 1st to January 1st. How many months is that? That's a long time, guys. Especially compared to, my season and how short that is. See, what else do we have here? Talked about honeyberries. Have I grown kukuza? My friend Joe is trying desperately to give me some kukuza. And he sent me some last year. And none of them came up. I don't know why. I think they may take a little bit while to come up. So, he may send me some again. Oh, Tommy's offering me some right now. Tommy, we'll see what Joe has to say, but if not, I should certainly grow it somewhere and see what happens. For those of you guys who don't know what kukuza is, let's just look that up real quick. So, kukuza. I actually saw this stuff growing behind a Chinese restaurant. Pretty cool. So this is like a squash similar to zucchini that a lot of Italian people grow, big in the Italian culture, and it has, it's pretty much a squash, guys, that just vines out in every which way direction. They form these really long, oddly shaped fruits. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. And some of them can get really long. I mean, my friend Joe has some that are taller than him that he grows. He's been breeding them for years. Let's not scroll down too much. We can get in trouble. But yeah. So I definitely should grow some Kukuza Indie Blue. I'll have to check it out, Adam. Crystal Clear Florida Girl says she's learning a lot from my learning a lot about figs from my channel. That's awesome. Tristan says you've helped me a lot. Stella says hello, Stella. Cheers, Rob. Outside of figs, have you started any other fruits from cuttings? Yes. Pomegranates are a joke. I've started mulberries from cutting. Let's see, what else? That's about it. But you know what? I know so many people that have rooted so many things. They may take a little bit longer than other things, but if you're willing to wait and give them some time, they certainly will succeed. And a lot of people, what they'll do is, instead of rooting them in the ground, they will called stool layering. So you basically, like this, it's a perfect example. You put whatever it is in the ground, it grows out all these new stems, cover that with dirt. It's kind of like air layering figs, guys. Then all along these branches, because the soil's there for so long, eventually it roots out into the soil. I mean, it may take quite a bit of time, right? You got to get the temperatures right, you got to get the moisture right. But at the end of the season, if you do this to, say, something like a honeyberry, they will root out. In fact, some of my honeyberries have. And I can take off a branch that has roots on it because of this, and I can replicate honeyberry plants that easy. My sub count is rising steadily, says Mark. Yeah, it is. I would hope so. If I'm putting out a video every day, at some point, right, someone's got to subscribe. Yeah, there we go. Top right corner is the bell. So that way you guys can get notifications exactly when my videos come out, the exact time it comes out. Most of the time I put out a video every Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. But Fruit Talk comes out every Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. Adam says, what kind of heat-tolerant beans can I grow? They're not really beans, but my favorite pea to grow, it's just similar in my mind to a bean, is the snap pea. So those are perfect for like very early in the season or at the very end of the season. Once those finish, I put in my my Kalima beans, they're called. These are string beans. It's a variety of string bean from Baker Creek that does incredibly well. They're extremely productive. They're heat tolerant. You can eat them raw. My grandfather, my crazy Italian grandfather, when he was a kid, it was during the Great Depression. And we'd go out with my great grandmother. They would go out to string bean fields and pick string beans and eat them raw. And I thought he was crazy. Till I ate and grew my own string beans and ate them raw off of these plants. They are incredible. They are. That's a bean I would recommend. Other beans I would recommend is soybeans. Soybeans, I love to make edamame out of those. And I will plant them every year for the rest of my life. Those three things. Snap peas, string beans, and soybeans. I would love to see if I have another bean in addition to those, but I feel like that covers the majority of my season, and it covers the majority of what I'm trying to accomplish in the kitchen. Let's see here. I hope that answers your question, Adam. So Gil says he's rooted mulberry cuttings. Mulberries are pretty easy to root depending on the variety. Mark says, do you have any sticks you want to get rid of? We are going to be doing a giveaway. And I should mention this, I guess, now. I forgot to do that. But for those of you guys who are watching, we're going to be doing a giveaway of 3 different varieties of figs that Gil has donated myself. Gil is in the chat right now watching. And Gil's in Texas. And he has a bunch of varieties that I think he said his neighbor grows or somebody he knows grows. And their father grew so many different varieties of figs years ago. And he has 3 varieties that Gil really likes, and he's been trying to sell them. If I go on our figs here, I still have it open. Not. But on the thread on our figs, guys, over here. This is the pictures of the figs that Gil has donated. One is called Pink Honey. This is Pink Honey here. See? And I think this fig, Gil and I agree, and Gil was the first one to say it, but this is a unique variety. I don't think it looks anything like anything that exists. This is pretty cool that Gil has been able to find this and give it to people, because this is unique. We should be preserving these kind of things. This one's called Pink Honey, as I said, so we're going to be giving away this one. I'm going to be growing this one as well. I think what's so unique about it is that, look at the leaves. The leaves are heart-shaped, almost kind of like a Ficus palmata in a way. And it has honey at the eye. Beautiful, beautiful honey fig. I haven't seen a fig that looks like this, to be honest. It's genuinely like a brownish pink. That's pretty cool. We also have Texas Strawberry, I think is what Gil is calling this one. This one looks a lot like an Adriatic type, for those of you guys who know what Adriatic types are, like JH Adriatic, Green Ischia, White Madeira #1, Strawberry Verte, Strawberry, there's a lot of them. And this one looks semi-similar to that, but I've never seen a leaf pattern quite like this. It's got nice honey at the eye. The interior is a perfect dark red. And it's got a weird neck here. So you could probably even argue that this one is unique. And this one here is the yellow honey. So we're all going to be giving these away at some point in this live stream. I'm not entirely sure when just yet. Maybe I should have thought of that by now, shouldn't I have? But at some point, maybe 30 minutes from now or so, we'll do a giveaway. I also have some cuttings of my own. I have a couple varieties here that I've written down somewhere. Pocket. So I have a variety here called Mega Celeste. I have Sister Madeline's Green Greek, Colonel Littman's Black Cross, and I think those are it. No, there should be more than this. I think that's it from myself, but we'll probably do the giveaway for about 20 people, and I'll send out 20 packages. It'll be $5 just to cover shipping and handling and all the packaging materials, me packaging, my time, putting this together. I mean, the amount of time that Gil spent gathering all this and then sending it to me. And then also me driving to the post office. I think $5 is pretty reasonable for quite a bit of cuttings that 20 people will be lucky to have. So that's what we'll be doing. This one's called Yellow Honey, like I said. Again, another unique looking fig to my eye. So, pretty cool. I want to thank Gil for doing that. Tommy needs a Zafiro. I need a Zafiro too. I'm rooting one right now because I think I want to put that one in the ground and see how it does. So someone gave Wayne a bottle of fig vodka. Was it good? I think I've had fig vodka before. Most flavored vodkas don't really taste that great. You guys like vodka? Where am I at here? Okay. I'm having trouble catching up to you guys. So, Crystal Clear Florida Girl said, any Florida viewers grow figs in ground with the nematodes we have here? That's a great question, because I don't know if you saw my video on nematodes. But I have a video that could show lots of promise. Right here, the amazing Ficus palmata hybrids, how a commercial fig industry in Florida flourishes. This basically, in essence, the video describes using Ficus palmata hybrids or LSU purple, nematode-resistant rootstocks, and then grafting the varieties onto those rootstocks of your choosing. My grandfather lives in Florida, and I'm going to give him an LSU purple tree. He's going to plant it in his yard, very sandy soil, right along the beach. Definitely nematodes there. He's failed at growing figs in that location before. So we'll see how LSU purple does. But I have a strong feeling that that's a really great idea and potential for for someone to be able to grow figs in the ground in Florida or root knot nematode infested soils. Garlic Mike is a really nice source for garlic, guys. I don't know if Mike sells stuff. But Mark, that's cool. You grow 14 different kinds of garlic. I picked up a couple based on Garlic Mike's recommendations. I picked up, I think, one called Chinese Pink. There's another one. One was a hard neck and one was a soft neck. I also picked up Music, and I'm going to be growing that one for quite a long time just because of the reputation here in the Northeast, or even in northern climates. I really love garlic, guys. I'm obsessed with garlic. In everything I cook, I use garlic. It's actually crazy. I will use an entire head of garlic, entire bowl of garlic in whatever I cook. I would if I had the amount of it, I would use that much. I know people are like, what? Oh man. Anyway, Mark, you want to trade some garlic for a couple sticks? I would love to do that. You should send me an email after this. Send me an email right now. And I'll definitely, we could set up a trade. My email is my first and last name, just like the YouTube channel, @gmail.com. You would love to have a list of books for growers. Yeah, I would love to have a list of books too. Problem is, there's a lot of books out there, and I really want to find the definitive guide to all these things. So I created a thread on our figs asking people, even I posted on Instagram and Facebook, asking people where I can get this stuff. And, a lot of people came up with some pretty good answers, but I still would love to have a nice, interesting, large list of books. I wasn't playing League of Legends tonight. That's a kid's game. But I do play Dota 2. For those of you guys who know what Dota 2 is, I've been playing that game since I was 14 years old. So that's the original League of Legends, and that's the one that I will play. Let's see here. Stella has a few more trees in Central Florida, and she's going to put a few more in the ground. Let us know, Stella, how they do in the ground. I would be interested as well. Oh yeah, your Swiss chard died already? So mine definitely took some hits from the frost, but it put out new leaves then. So I don't know if you somehow, maybe I put mine in a better microclimate, but mine has somehow made it through that crazy Thanksgiving frost that we had, or Thanksgiving low. That was insane, by the way. Those of you guys who live in the Northeast and had to deal with that, that's absolutely absurd. That's just, that blew me away this year. Gagoots, yeah, that's another word for Kakuza. You grow it yourself, you know exactly what was. I'm not sure what you mean, Bluebell. Tammy, my goji berry plants are doing well. I just put 2 of them in the ground. I put one in the ground in the spring, one in the ground in the fall. They're in shadier locations, but they can handle that. And I want to see how well they perform in the ground. I'm training them into like a nice umbrella shape. So I'm getting all of the trunks together, tying them up a large bamboo stake, and then letting them branch out from there They form this nice umbrella shape that's quite beautiful. And the fruit, people don't really realize that it's edible. But even in an ornamental setting, it's a beautiful fruit. It's a beautiful plant. So I have it in ornamental places of my yard that if people come to the office here, they can see this plant in its umbrella shape, hopefully next year when it matures a little bit more, excuse me. But I'm not a huge fan of the fruit, guys. Who asked me that? Tammy. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the fruit because it's a bit like a pepper. I'd rather just eat peppers. It's like an unpleasant pepper. But, they're edible. And you can certainly get an acquired taste for them. But I would certainly not grow Lycium chinense, which is one that tastes way bad. Lycium babarum is actually pretty sweet, so at least it has that for it. Dragon fruit starts very easy from cuttings. That's good to know. I would love to grow dragon fruit at some point. I don't have climate for it yet. When I have a greenhouse, that's one of the growing. Pomegranates will root from cuttings. They're easier to root than figs. I have never failed rooting a pomegranate cutting. Scarlet runner beans are great. I grew them not this year, but last year. And I've saved seed from them, and the seed didn't really do that well this year. I really think they're beautiful, scarlet runner beans. Adam, if you're paying attention, you could grow that one. It's quite worthwhile, but I think there's a period of my season that's too warm. And there's all these beautiful red flowers that's supposed to attract hummingbirds, but they never set fruit for a good portion of the season. What you can do is eat the flowers, which are actually beautiful, beautiful flowers, and they taste really good. In terms of eating flowers, guys, it's probably the best flower I've had. Nasturtiums are really good as well, but the scarlet runner bean flowers taste just like, almost like snap peas, kind of bean. They're really good. So Bluebella says, what is the best way to transition a fig cutting from a humid setting to the environment you'll be growing it in the future? You said if it's a sudden change, it will kill a fig. That's true. So if you guys are rooting your figs in a humidity bin, which is directly against what I suggest, my advice. I suggest you guys wrap them with paraffin, let them break out of the paraffin, and that way they're automatically adjusted to the room's humidity. Why create an extra step for you? It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So the best way to do that is to poke holes in whatever it is you have. Just a couple of holes every week. Very slowly. Do it very, very slowly. The faster you do it, the worse it is for the plants, and the less time they have to adjust, the faster they will die. Especially if they have no roots. So a lot of times fig cuttings will send out leaves and new stems, and then they don't have any roots to support them. And if you put them in a bad environment, immediately they start to wilt because there's no roots supporting them. So a stable humidity is what you really want until you get really great root growth. Have I ever tried manzano peppers? I have not. What's so good about them? B.A. Giselle, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Sorry, buddy. But manzano pepper, apple chili. There are a few medium hot chilies with fruitiness. I guess this is kind of what, like a habanero, right? Because habaneros have the like an actual taste to them rather than just burning your mouth, right? Apple-like shape, hints at fruity and doesn't disappoint. Refreshing. See, for me, I'm growing the most productive pepper that I can get because peppers don't do well here. There's not a long enough season. You need to start them really early at seed, plant them outside, and cross your fingers that they will produce well on the ground. They will, however, do exceptionally well in containers, like a fig, but I don't really have enough container space on my patio to dedicate peppers. What I've done is I've dug up my peppers, I don't know if you saw that video. And then I have them in the house over winter. They're pretty large sized peppers now. And I'll put them out in the yard, put them in the garden bed, and that way I have really a huge start to the season, and I'll get a lot more peppers that way on 2 varieties that are exceptionally productive in my area. Jimmy Nardello and Carmen I find to be exceptionally productive peppers, guys. Carmen's incredible how good that one is. There's no heat, and I would like to grow hot peppers to make into hot sauce because I can handle the heat, guys. You know, for a white guy, I think that Italian. My family from Italy comes from Calabria, and they really love to eat hot food. And I can definitely somehow I inherited that gene, and I can definitely stand it. But there's a certain point in which you can deprive peppers of water, similar to a fig, guys. So you deprive figs of water. They have less water in them. They're more concentrated. They have a higher Brix. They have more sugar content. Same thing kind of happens to a pepper in that the chemical in the pepper increases that capsaicin, or however you pronounce it, and the pepper becomes way hotter. So, grow your peppers if you want them even hotter. Don't put a lot of water in them, soil. You'll get even hotter peppers. I've got burned by a jalapeno that I grew that was, it wasn't too hot for me, but it was so hot that I wasn't expecting it, and I was like, I kind of choked a little bit. You know what I mean? So, a jalapeno is not supposed to be a hot pepper, especially the ones you get at the store, which are processed. The heat really goes down. But if you eat a fresh jalapeno, that maybe is a little bit higher on the Scoville scale by limiting the water, you will be surprised. Let's see. That is really nice of Gil for doing that. How long does it take for a bare root persimmon tree to bear fruit? It depends on the persimmon, the variety. I've had persimmon trees fruit in their first year from the nursery, or their second year from the nursery. Others have taken a bit longer. The hybrids like Rosianka and Nikita's Gift seem to take a bit longer to fruit. Mine is certainly taking its time. So, Crystal Clear Florida Girl, I killed a few of my fig cuttings by watering it once a week. I think that was overwatered, yeah. Well, here's what I like to do. You stick the cutting in the soil. Soil should be moist at that point. Not wet, not dry. Moist. That way, it has enough humidity to activate the cutting into growing roots. And then by the time it starts to dry out, hopefully you've covered that with some mulch, or maybe you have it in a humidity bin. You basically prevented a lot of that moisture from escaping the soil. By the time it starts to get dry in there, you probably should have some roots, probably should have some leaves. And at that point, you need to water it. Once again, and get the soil moist. Now, that's the kind of the trick, right? You need to keep the soil moist. You don't want it dry, you don't want it wet. That's my biggest recommendation for watering any. It's really about the soil too. You have a soilless potting mix for the most part. I have compost in mine, but half of that is, I've added a lot of rice hulls this year. Half of that's bark. So, get yourself a soilless, well-draining potting mix. You should be able to water them. It's hard to say how often, because it really depends on, is it moist? I think that's the biggest thing you should be looking for. As any grower, you need to check the soil before you water it. Don't be afraid to get your hand in there. Don't be afraid to get dirty. Hope that answers that question. Pink honey does look really good. What part of Texas, Antonio? Okay, he'll answer that one for us. All right, so Adam has to go. See ya, Adam. Yeah, Colonel Littman's is hard to find. For sure. I have, I think, about 6 cuttings I can give away from that one. So Tarek said, I took your advice and I'm trying to find a Smith fig. You should take my advice. It's my best fig right now. I have a feeling others are going to beat it at some point. Especially if I can find a fig that's at the caliber of Smith, but earlier in the season. The Smith is really good, but it's mid-season. It's not bad. Any mid-season fig will do well here where I live. But I really want to find something that's early and at the caliber of Smith. And I think that's Pastigliere. I think that's going to beat out Smith. Do you think Celeste would make a good grafting host rootstock for other varieties? Good. Yeah, I really don't have the answer of what variety of rootstock would make a good one. You know, there's some that are nematode resistant. It seems like my little ruby, kind of it grows sideways. I feel like that's almost the most dwarf fig I've ever seen. So if you want to dwarf it, maybe you could put it on that. You know, hard to really say. I think if you're not going for something that's dwarfed, you're not going for something that's no resistant, just get yourself something that's very vigorous, like brown turkey. Something that's very healthy as well. Adam said, why is it so hard to find garlic buds for sale online? Well, garlic at this point in the season is done. You know, it's a little too late at this point to plant garlic. You have to get them at the right time. You have to get them, you know, you should be starting to look sometime between September and if you wait anything after November, they're all gone. Would you recommend growing garlic at the base of fig trees? Yeah, I would. Tammy, you're in Florida, I think, right? I would recommend growing anything at the base of anything. You know, I think you could really get away with that climate. The amount of water you have, the amount of heat you have, the length of your amount of sunlight you have. Really, really can get away with it. I'm even doing that here. I mean, look how many things I'm growing around the base of my trees. Garlic is one of those things that they say has a lot of benefits to doing that. There's a lot of like, kind of like companion planting stuff that people talk about, or as I'm just trying. Yeah, but there's a lot of like things that even like Fedco Nursery is really into. You know, Fedco Nursery thinks that they kind of deter borers, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's something else, but you can go on their website. You can see for yourself where what they're recommending. I think it's borers. They also, I think, can deter rodents like voles, mice. I would love, and I've been playing with the idea of just putting like, you know, multiplier onions, garlic, shallots, you know, Egyptian walking onions, and kind of just putting them around my trees and just letting them be perennial. You know, not even harvesting all of them, just getting a perennial crop that is no work. Because alliums are so amazing. Like they're so easy to grow. It really is. So I hope that answers your question. At this point in the video, we're an hour in, so I think we'll do the giveaway right now. Those of you guys who are still watching, stuck it around this long, I think a lot of people had to go at this point, so I don't want to mess anybody up at this point. But for the first 20 people, email me. You will get cuttings of your choosing. Now, you have to email me, guys. In the subject, it has to say cuttings in the subject line. You need to include your address, and you need to send me $5 on my PayPal. You also need to choose 2 varieties of Gil's selection here that you would like to have. I can't guarantee that you will get 2, but rank them from 1 to 2. So if you like pink honey the most, that's number 1. If you like Texas strawberry second, that's number 2. And say number 1, pink honey. Number 2, Texas strawberry. And that way, everyone of the 20 people will get the variety of their choosing. I will include my own cuttings along with Gil's. So you're not really going to get a choice there, but you will get a choice with what Gil is offering here. Either pink honey, yellow honey, or Texas strawberry. Those are the 3 different varieties. Or you could just say green, yellow, or pink, whichever one you want. And do number 1 and number 2. And the subject line, again, should be cuttings. Include your address, your mailing address, your full mailing address. Make sure it's right. Do not put the wrong address in the email, okay? That could be a disaster. All right. So hopefully I'm getting some emails now. I have none. Yeah, the first 20 of you guys to do that. If I still have some left over, I will basically get. I'll probably post something on Facebook for those of you guys who may have missed it. If you're watching this video not live, you're watching this video. Oh yeah, what's my email address? Everybody's like, what's his email? It's my first and last name @gmail.com. Yes, it's in the chat now, so you can copy and paste that from the email there. All right, there we go. Jack's the first one. All right. Okay, so that clears that up, guys. But yeah, again, if you are missing this live stream, I will post something on Facebook or Instagram if there's anything left. Hopefully no one's sending me an email 5 days after this video asking me for cuttings. Okay? The other varieties I'm giving away will be included as extras. So I'm giving away the 3 here that I've listed. See, this is pink honey here, this is Texas strawberry, and this here is yellow honey, what Gil calls them. So choose 2 of these, and you will be guaranteed at least one of them. And I will try to include from my own collection cuttings that I grew of my own, cuttings from my own trees this year. And those varieties are Sister Madeline's Green Greek, which is a fig similar here to Texas strawberry. Colonel Lippmann's Black Cross, which is extremely rare and an extremely good fig, as well as Mega Celeste. I have very limited of all 3 of those, but I will try to get each and every one of you at least one of those extra varieties. I cannot guarantee it, but I will try to include those. Yes, well, I will respond to you guys in the email if you guys are receiving cuttings in the mail. I will send you guys my PayPal information for you to send me the $5. I will not ask for $5 if you're not getting any cuttings. All right, that should clear that up. All right, I should write a book myself, says Blue Bella. Well, I am thinking about it. In fact, I was going to, but some things that kind of happened with my friend Dom. Dom, if you're watching. Hello, Dom. What's up, man? My good friend Dom, you guys may have seen him actually on one of my videos. We went to his apartment, and he's growing a lot of food at his apartment. Video here. Growing food, living in an apartment. Done. It was Dom here growing food in Ocean City, New Jersey. He no longer is there anymore, but was growing food on his apartment. And Dom and I have become good friends, and things have come up. You know, Dom had to move. He had a kid. There's a lot of things going on in his life, so the book is on hold. But I think at some point, Dom can't get his act together. I may just write one by myself. I don't know. We'll see if it's in the cards. I'm not making any promises. It was in the works. Let's see here. Your broccoli Rob's still alive? Wow. Dota 2 is not in beta, by the way. It hasn't been in beta for about 8 years. About 5 or 6 years. Adam says, how high of a greenhouse do you need to grow tropical fruits? Well, it depends on the tropical fruit, because some tropical fruits will fruit at a smaller size, and you can grow them in pots. Things like some of the things I was growing was like guavas. What else was I growing? Different types of cherries, like a Jamaican cherry. Mangoes will fruit at a smaller size. I think a Suriname cherry is one that I had as well. Star fruits will fruit at a smaller size. Lychee will fruit at a smaller size. Loquats will fruit at a smaller size. Citrus will fruit at a smaller size. So you can grow a lot of these things in a smaller greenhouse. It's just you got to know which of them can fruit at a smaller size. Bananas will get pretty tall, but my objective in the future is to have one of them sunken greenhouses and grow a whole bunch of tropical fruit. Julio said his dog dug up some cuttings. That really stinks. Garden Crusade said Tabasco peppers did really good for us. The rest did okay. That and the long Italian hots. So good to know. I don't know where you live, Garden Crusade, but it does well in your area. In my area, you should let me know. Chris says hello. Hey man, what's going on? Randy, listen. Trinidad Scorpion is is maybe a bit too hot. Now, right now I'm eating ghost pepper level hot sauce, and I think that is perfect. Anything more than that, I think I may regret it. So, if I was going to eat a Trinidad Scorpion fresh without processing it, I would certainly die, and I would regret it. So, I don't know if that's a good idea. Kristen said, what's your thought on watering the 4x9 tree pots? Should I water them from the top or the bottom? I water them all from the bottom because they're in a bin. I see no benefit to watering them on the top or the bottom. I don't get it. I don't understand. You don't want to water the leaves. I guess that's one. But the only reason I water them from the bottom is because I can just water the bin, and it gets to a certain level in the bin, the soil sucks all that up. So I don't necessarily have to water from the top. It's easy to water from the bottom. Rob says Smith is the best green fig for sure. I don't know if I could say that totally green. More of like a grayish color. Purplish, grayish. Got like 3 different colors in one, but I can say it's a light fig. The best light fig for sure. I guess that's what you. 7 brown turkey trees, $6 each, and plan to use them. Says Tristan. That's awesome. I wish I could get 7 brown turkey trees from Home Depot for $6. Let's see. Tommy said, "Will you putting any more cuttings or air layers on Figbid?" No. That's actually one of the things I wanted to mention to you guys, is that this is it. These are the last cuttings I have for sale. 1 set of RDB, another set of Black Beauty 10, 10 cuttings of Illinois Everbearing. I did prune some apple tree pears, but I didn't label them, and I didn't go through the effort of labeling them, so I'm not going to sell those. Those would be nice for people to have. I think apple trees are really great to trade. A lot of people trade that stuff, sell that stuff, but I have a lot of trees for sale, guys, come spring, but all I got for now. And I'm definitely happy that all of you guys had purchased so much merchandise from me. I didn't really expect to sell anything. I never went into growing figs. No. I thought it'd be cool to own a nursery at some point. But I'm not a nursery. Hey, I'm still a hobbyist. Still a YouTuber. I still am an accountant. Living, but able to have merchandise that I could sell on my YouTube channel to make something from this hobby. I've spent a lot of time, guys, searching and learning, obsessing over growing. The amount of time I've put into this definitely shows, right? But to put that much time into something, kind of at my age, not get some kind of compensation out of it is a bit. I don't want to say that it's a bit of a tragedy, but for somebody who's older and they're retired and they're because they have enough money to retire, then that's one thing. But for me to spend all this amount of money and time, I've spent so much money, guys, on this hobby. Like the amount of money I've spent on cuttings and trees is just astronomical. The amount of tools I've bought, different trees, raised beds, soil. I mean, the amount of mistakes I've made, it's added up. So to be able to have something that I love to do and get something out of it, other than just the joy and having you guys be as awesome as you are, it's pretty incredible. It really is. I mean, I say this all the time to my girlfriend and people that when I talk about my YouTube channel to other people, I always try to recommend that they just start one, because the amount of friends and that I have come in contact with, the amount of joy that I have gained from this channel. I mean, even if I made $0, which again I never intended to make I never thought I would even get 1,000 subscribers. I can't believe you guys are even listening to me right now. It's crazy to think about. It's just like, it just blows my mind, because there's so many of you guys out there, and we went from 1,000 in the first year to 10,000 in the second year. That's just unbelievable. So again, I just am blown away by it. Am I at here in the chat, guys? Trying to catch up. It's difficult. All right. Let's see. Okay, so Tammy's in San Jose. Tammy, I think I just sent you something, post office, this morning. Hopefully you got that. You got an email with the tracking number. I think that's you. Not you, then ignore that whole thing. Yeah, let me know if you got that tracking number. The amount of things I've sent out to people, no one has let me know that they got the tracking number or even got the plant, got the cuttings. And as a seller, you don't really get that information. If it's somebody I know and and I trade with them, they let me know they got it as a sign of courtesy, which I never did that either. I'm not blaming anybody. As a seller, you don't need to let me know, but it would be nice if somebody let me know that they got it. They got the tracking number. That's the most important thing I want to know, is whether or not you got that tracking number from PayPal. Tommy's interested in the Zora Stark and Zafiro. Yeah, Zafiro is certainly going to be incredible honey fig. Mind blowing. Like I said, I'm going to put one in the ground this year. Wayne said last year I grew basil and parsley at the base of a fig. Combo there. Yeah. I'm growing parsley this year for the first time ever. Pretty easy, I imagine, right? Has anyone had problems growing oregano or parsley in the ground? I doubt it, right? Tristan said, I'll take some cuttings, smiley face. Tommy said, I threw a bunch of garlic in my fig pots and they're overwintering in my garage. Now the garlic is growing. That was a mistake. Because garlic is a sensitive to the amount of daylight, like onions and some other crops that I'm blanking on right now. They trigger, kind of die off in terms of the amount of daylight hours you have. Tommy, I would suggest getting this book. Yourself this book here. You're gonna need it. This book only cost me like $4. Shipping was like, the book was like $3 and the shipping was $4. Altogether, I spent $7 or $8. Go on Abe Books. You can get books used. They're very, very cheap. What's in my basket right now? This one is pretty expensive. This is like the definitive guide to persimmons right here. I would like to get this book, but I think it's too expensive. Like, $47 for a book on persimmons. I was like, you know what? This is the definitive guide. Maybe I should just spend my money on it. But I never even bought the Pond's book. Pond's book, it was like $100 or something. English. It's really expensive. I feel like if I could just... I may never learn everything that's in the book, but I will never learn everything. At least there's a part of me that can acquire the knowledge through experience rather than reading a book. Now, I honestly, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I don't know. We'll see. I may end up buying this in the future if it's still available. They only have one, I think, left. And it ships from New Zealand. That's why the shipping's so expensive. Normally, if you get a book, guys, on this website for $25, and it's from some guy in the U.S. or a seller in the U.S., the shipping is like $3 to $4. Let's see here. All right, so I got a bunch of emails. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17. We got 18 if I'm counting correctly. So there would be 2 spots left if anybody's interested. Okay. Blue Bella, you're not in the U.S. The video, or where are you from? Trainwreck said, "Are you giving away any other varieties?" No, that's it. Just the 3 of them. I'm out of everything, guys. Thought it'd be nice to do something for Christmas, for the holiday season, kind of give back something to you guys, as a thank you. And Gil certainly has helped us out with that. Really nice of him to do that. You're welcome, Stella. Okay. Okay, so if you MBA Giselle says, if I see a brown turkey cutting, will you send me a Black Madeira tree? Oh. But maybe there will be a day where Black Madeira is so cheap that it's as common as brown turkey. Wouldn't that be cool? CT Rob says, and CT Rob, you're in Connecticut, I believe. He says he grows mandarins, kumquats, and lemons in 5-gallon buckets in Iowa. Okay, you're not in Connecticut. Without a greenhouse. Yeah, you can grow citrus trees, guys, in pretty small pots. I had a bunch of citrus trees. 6 at one. A couple of them died. Others I got rid of. Right now I'm down to 1 tree, but one day I will get back into very serious. I really nowadays am appreciating the importance of acid cooking, whether it's from alliums or citrus, some kind of vinegar. And those are the two main ones that come to mind. But citrus is really nice to have a lemon or a lime tree. Take that off the tree and use that in my cooking anytime I want. That would be incredible. Because it really does increase the flavor of your food. It's phenomenal, guys. Have I thought of grafting honeyberry to honeysuckle? No. I don't know why. Why? I just don't know what the thought process is. They're related. I'm sure you know that, Christopher. So, I don't know. What's your reasoning? I never thought about it because they propagate pretty easily. So, growing them on their own roots is probably maybe better. I don't know how that would affect production if you graft them on. Gil says you got to go. Gil for everything. Everyone say goodnight and thank you, Gil. What are the best figs, Leo says, for hot and dry climates? And you get a lot of answers with the question here, Leo, which I'm afraid to kind of answer the question because I don't live there. But without a doubt, if I lived in a hot and dry climate such as B or 9B, I would 99 times out of 100, I would grow Col de Dame. The Col de Dame figs, and I would grow Black Madeira. Those are the two figs I would focus on. From there, I would also get a Violette de Bordeaux. That fig is incredible. It does really well. It's super productive. You get one that produces a nice Breva crop. A lot of the Violette de Bordeaux types produce a bountiful Breva crop. That will give you a really nice early start to the season. I would also consider something that's like a honey fig, something like yellow long neck, or maybe even Albo, Golden Riverside, something like a large honey fig that's a bit different than Col de Dame fig or Black Madeira. Those are the ones I would choose. There are certainly a long list of other ones. If you have the wasp, I would definitely grow Unknown Pastiliere. I would grow Raspberry Latte if you do not have the wasp. Now that question would take me a while to think about. If I think of others, I'll let you know. Go along. So Garden Crusade, you're in South Jersey, and you said the what pepper was it? Tabasco? Yeah, Tabasco peppers as well as Italian long. Okay. Basilica Sica Belle Claire isn't bad. Yeah, it's not a bad fig for any climate. It's the same thing as Stella and Dalmatie, French fig. Would I say that I prefer Smith over Strawberry Verte or Col Blanc? If I had climate where I could ripen Col de Dame Blanc and get the entire crop and every fig I had was Col de Dame Blanc, I would be in heaven. Better than Smith. Smith's better than Strawberry Verte. I don't know really much about Ben's Golden Riverside. It looks like a really great fig. And it's definitely different than Golden Riverside from UC. They really should get away from that name of Golden Riverside. I'm sure Ben's working on that, and he knows the most information about it. So, Jack says Thai dragons are great. You grow Asian-style peppers. Loads of peppers ripen early in good heat. Even the green ones are good for eating. We also lacto-ferment sauces. Okay. Need more wine or more water because my mouth is very dry. This wine's so good. Cheers to everybody. For a Happy New Year. Have a healthy and happy New Year, guys. Hope everyone's Christmas was good. Hanukkah, if you guys are Jewish. Any other holidays that you guys may celebrate. Yes, this is the water that I drink. And you know what? I normally have a gallon of water every day that I drink. But like a milk gallon. Something new. See the handle here? This is crap. How am I supposed to drink this? But drinking water is very important, guys. I drink a lot of it. Let's see here. Kristen says, I missed your citrus video. It was really old. And I had one that people really got pissed off at. I had a video that I filmed, one of my first videos, and it took off. Got a lot of views, and a lot of people didn't agree with what I was saying and deleted it. And it was all about overwintering citrus trees in your house. Like one way of doing citrus and overwintering them, but there's so many people that disagreed because what they didn't realize, there's a million ways to do the same thing. And just because I'm saying this is the way that I'm doing it, doesn't mean it's the best way. That's how they took it, and that's why I deleted it. I have a citrus tree in my room right now. Maybe I'll do a video. And I have been told by Adam, others, that have requested me to do videos on houseplants. So I'll probably do that at some point and do a quick video of some houseplants that I have, and maybe I'll do this. If you guys have any suggestions of what kind of videos I should make, let me know. I would definitely be down to try it. So anyway, so let's see. What else do we have here? MBA Giselle said he spent $2,000 in 2008. Yeah. I mean, you can spend thousands of dollars on just cuttings. That's absurd, right? It's absolutely absurd. And I hope that I've helped you guys save some money. Because I've trialed all these varieties, and this is what I'm trying to get at with you guys. I've trialed all these varieties. I've gone through thousands of different varieties, not myself growing them, but I've looked through, on the internet, thousands of varieties. Maybe not multiple thousands, but somewhere over 1,000 varieties. I've asked people millions of questions. I've talked to people. I have bugged people. I have looked through collections. You know, I've done my due diligence to try to find good varieties that would do well here. And you know, I grew about somewhere around 300 of them. You know, whether or not I had them for a short period of time or a longer period of time. Some I didn't give a good enough trial, but you know, I've been through a lot of these. I know that so many of them are so similar to each other. That's the first thing you need to get through. That they're all very similar, and then once you figure out which ones are similar to the others, then you can kind of be like, okay, let's try to get something different, and we'll try to focus on something that is maybe a bit more exotic. And that's kind of another trap that people fall into, that you try to grow things that ripen in your climate. I can't grow Black Madeira in my yard without a greenhouse. I bet you if I had more sunlight in my backyard, I probably would be able to do it without a head start, but for the most part, it's not a good idea to be growing Black Madeira without some kind of head start. So, you know, about experience at this, trying to figure out which of these varieties will perform well, which of them will also taste well. You know, for me, it's very cut and dry, right? It's very simple. What figs will ripen before September 15th and taste good? If they don't ripen before September 15th, will they hold up to the rain? Because that's the most important thing. Before September 15th, we're in the summer, and about September 15th on average, it's not, you know, exactly September 15th every year, but that's about when the fall weather starts coming in. Cooler nighttime temperatures and a lot more rain. At that point, the fig quality starts to diminish greatly. If I can get all of my figs to ripen August 1st, I would be in heaven, because the quality at that point is incredible. It's close to California. It's probably close to a lot of you guys can, because I have a lot of heat. You know, on the patio, We get in the 90s quite frequently. Sometimes we get over 100, very rarely, but sometimes we do. So that's the that's the good temperatures, guys, for fishing. I've got the climate. I just have not a long enough season and too rainy. You can certainly fertilize your trees in the dormant season. Yeah, but if it's cold in your house, it's not going to do anything. Okay? The tree's not going to grow. If my tree is 50 degrees in the basement or 70 degrees, maybe 70 degrees in my house, it's really not going to grow all that much. Fig or the citrus is just like a fig. It needs warmer temperatures above like 75, 80. Lots of sunlight for them to really, really grow. So fertilizing at that point is not really that worth it, I guess. You could do it if it's organic. It would stay in the soil for a pretty decent long time. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, so Rigo's editing videos right now. That's something I've tried to stray away from. Is least editing I can do. Try to get all this out in one shot. That has really helped me get out a video every single day. Otherwise, I couldn't do this. I couldn't get out the amount of information I want to get out to you guys if I was editing. The amount of times that I would need to edit. It's ridiculous. And it takes a lot of the fun out of it for me. So let's see here. Will something if I get your cuttings? Not sure what you just said. Not sure what I said in relation to when. Not sure what I said when I said it in relation to when. Is it the wine, guys? I don't know. Hopefully you guys are drinking along with me. Growing figs is a awesome hobby. Met a lot of good people. Yeah, you're right, Wayne. Roy said that all of his cuttings rooted easily from the ones he bought from me. Thank you, Troy. You know what? I have proof that they rooted because they're right in the closet right next to me. Knowledge is key. What, Ross? I'm not sure what you... you probably said that like 20 minutes ago. I sent one before you posted and another one after you make it too. Okay, Stella, no problem. Variegated pink lemon is very sweet. Great for cooking. You know what? Wayne actually gave my girlfriend a lemon tree. So my girlfriend has a lemon tree in her apartment, and she's growing lemons in her apartment. She's gonna put it outside in the summer, so I think that's definitely key. But if you guys have a balcony and that gets 6 to 8 hours of light, I think that's kind of pushing it in certain parts of the city, depending on how big the buildings are around you and what direction your building faces. But you could do it. There will still be a lot more protection, right? Fig down in a cold 7A board. Figs need a lot of protection in a 7A climate. Yeah. Now I'm trying to figure out exactly how much protection they need in the yard because I get to about 0 degrees Fahrenheit every year, and certainly trees die back, but I'm not convinced it's because of the cold. So we'll find out more this. If I can get a lot of my trees through the wintertime with just wilt-proof and planting them in the right location, putting rocks around them, having lots of soil, that could be huge, right? And that could definitely be a game changer. I could answer your question a lot better, Troy. Now I can. Yeah, ZD if you have the wasp. Yeah, ZD is incredible for California. Awesome. Hey, everyone, hit the thumbs up button at the bottom of the video. Only 3 likes. We can do better than that. And I would also recommend, guys, a lot of you guys contact me through email or Facebook or Instagram or, I think Instagram, not Instagram, but if you directly message, you private message, and it's a question that you have for me, put it on my video that it's associated to, and I'll answer that question, because if you comment on my videos, it helps out my video. You know, it helps more people see them. So, you know, if you got an interesting question and you want my opinion on it and you want it immediately, I'll answer it, right? I'll answer that in a private message, but if it's not immediate and you don't need it urgently, put it on the appropriate YouTube. I'll answer it. I always try to answer everyone's questions. So BB Scott says hot and dry climates, red Lebanese, Beka, gorgeous so grease, Violet Sapor. Yeah. Hey Doug. I didn't realize that was Doug. Hey man. Yeah, there you go. There's the recommendation right there. See this, guys? Dry climates. Hot, dry climates. We have a fig fanatic in the chat. There you go. You know what? And Violet Sapor does really well here too. Castellieri does really well here too, and so does Red Lebanese. So it's weird how some of these things work, and it seems like whatever someone likes in California doesn't actually translate too well where I live. Something that I like here in a humid and short season climate doesn't really translate well to California, and they think it's kind of mush, and they think it's crap. You know? So if I'm saying something's good and you guys live in a different climate, it's really hard for me to say this is the answer to everything. It does seem like the figs that I love, the Californians hate. You know, isn't that weird? But that's how it is. Rigo said, feeling tipsy yet? Betcha, buddy. This wine's really good, guys. I've talked about it before, but I just want to show it again. This is my uncle's wine that he brought. Not his wine. Very cheap bottle of wine. $15. It's the year of 2013, I think this. No, actually it doesn't say. Yeah, 2013 on the back. So, but it's incredibly good for a $15 bottle of wine. $15 bottle of wine. It's the best bottle of wine I've had for that price. But I'm not a wine connoisseur, guys. So my uncle is. Daryl Hopper says, let's see. Wait, I skipped over something. Stella says, I've heard of Anna and Dorset apples for Central Florida, but no one around here seems to have any luck growing them. Yeah, so if you live in a climate that has low chill hours, and Dorset is really good. The problem then with apples, though, is that they need a drier climate because certain apples are prone to disease. So you really want to make sure that whatever variety, Stella, that you're getting for Central Florida, one, disease resistant, and two, doesn't need a lot of chill hours. And Dave Wilson Nursery is doing a lot of experimenting with it. I want to go over there and figure out from them what apples don't need a lot of chill hours. They're probably the best source of Daryl said, I found some scions last year, but it was because the weather is never cool enough to give my grafts work properly. Mine won't fruit. Brown turkey's 5 years old and still never flowered. Well, Daryl, there could be a lot of reasons for that. Okay, the weather is never cool. Daryl, I don't know where you live. Let me know where you live. Have you propagated them from seed? Hope you didn't. Hope you propagated them from cutting. But there's a lot of reasons, Daryl, that your fig could not be fruiting, and I just did a video on this particular topic. This is the video right here. Why hasn't my fig tree fruited? I get this question so often. This will answer it for you. One video. So if you don't know why, I don't know if you do or don't know why, but if you don't, that's the answer right there. Bluebella says, do we have any black Genoa figs? I can't recall you mentioning them before. Maybe they go by a different name in the US. I have stayed away from any fig that has the name Genoa in it, because they're usually large figs, open eyes, and don't do well in climates. some of them are probably related to or similar to like brown turkey. I think my friend Joe has one about 30 minutes. Has a Genoa that he, but I'm not a big fan of the larger figs, guys. You know, the smaller figs have a much concentrated flavor, and whether or not you grew up with figs or not, certainly affect your preferences. So for me, I'm really into the flavorful. A lot of people like the larger ones that taste like melons or taste very figgy. That's not my style. You're welcome, Florida girl. Tommy says, not sure what I said and when you said it, but LOL, yeah, you're feeling. Yeah. Okay, Stella says, does my mic cut in and out? Yeah, it does, but I have this thing on it. It's a noise gate, so whenever I speak, it turns on. Whenever I don't speak, really to prevent the background noise, we have a lot of noise behind me. I'm trying everything I can do to prevent that background noise. Daryl said, or PJ Thoreau said, I had a grapefruit that wouldn't fruit 15 years after I dug rock dust the tree fruited the next year. Yeah, you know what? Citrus are weird trees, aren't they? They're really finicky. And I think they need certain micronutrients. You can see in the leaves that on some of them, they just look very spotty. And if you don't give them some kind of green sand, ironite, rock dust, give them a full dose of micronutrients, I think they will really like you for it. Tristan said, have you done a review on Dr. Gawadi? I haven't. Actually, I have, yeah. I did this year, yeah. Let's see. One of the 9 variety videos that I did this year. We tasted 9 varieties side by side. Like, say this one was done on Monday, this one was done on Wednesday. So this was just the time of the year that I was getting a lot of varieties to fruit for me at once. It's in this one here. It wasn't fully ripe when I ate it, and I'm sure it's a good fig, but White Triana is very similar, and you can hear in the photo. There. 1 to 1. So White Triana is so similar of a fig to Dr. Gawadi, but White Triana is a better fig. Well, I can't say it's better, but I can say it's incredible. So for me, I'm like done. I'm done looking for a better White Triana. You know what I mean? I'm done looking for a fig of this in this category because I found, I think, what I believe to be the best one. Ross, can you set your mic so it's not voice activated? It cuts off at the end of your sentences. Yeah. I'm going to have to play around with it after this live stream. Rigo says, yeah, Rigo is Jitterflix. Says, Dr. Draconian donated a Violet de Bordeaux to me, about 2 feet tall, and it has figs on it, but how long does it take? Well, it depends on your definition of maturity. Violet de Bordeaux is one of those figs, guys, that's super precocious. It will fruit for you at a very young age. Doesn't take much. Also, insanely productive. And I guess for it to mature, it'd probably be a lot sooner. Hey, Steve. My Saskatoons are looking good. They didn't grow all that much this year, but I put them in a very shady spot to see how well they would do. I may have to move one of them, or even both of them, see what happened, but there's a bunch of plants that are making it worse near them. I have a bunch of sedum. I have a bunch of sedum that's kind of shading them out for now. They get above the sedum, they will get more light and they'll probably do much better. Also, the soil in that location is okay, so we'll see what happens with them. I'm probably going to have to move, but it would be nice to get Saskatoons. And the fruit I've had before, I think I told you that. It's like like a blueberry, but it has some seeds. They're much easier to grow, guys. For those of you who don't know what they are, way easier to grow than blueberries. So look up Saskatoons. They have many names for them. What else do they call them? Juneberry is one name for them. That's what I like to call them. Berries, service berries. Look at this. There's 15 of them. This is the botanical name here. The fruit looks just like blueberries, but they grow on a tree, kind of like a bush / tree. They don't have the soil pH requirements that blueberries do, and I bet you they're more drought tolerant than blueberries as well. Because blueberries, if they dry out, the plant dies very quickly. Very unforgiving. Row of them. It looks like Honeyberry USA. Honeyberry USA is doing some nice things, guys, with honey. And you can pick up some Saskatoon. I think a couple varieties that are good is Northline, that people have really liked. And I think they're breeding these and trying to get them larger. Oh, hey, Helen. Nice to see you here, Helen. Helen has been watching my videos for a long time. And I've just been telling everybody how thankful I am to everybody that has been part of my channel from really such a long time ago. So yeah, cheers to everybody again. Hopefully, you're not. I'm still not alone in drinking some alcohol. But yeah, for coming, Helen. But yeah, Saskatoons are great. They're also doing amazing things with honeyberries. And we talked about honeyberries a little bit in this video. I mean, we've covered so many fruits in this video, haven't we, guys? Now, these are the two. I'm going to show you guys the two that I have selected. So here we get down to the late season selections. Very important. For those of you guys who live in warmer zones, you guys have trouble with late frosts, this is what you need to have. You need to have a late flowering honeyberry. These mid-season ones, early season ones, won't really do that well. They need to very late in the season. And I have had Solo and I've had Maxi. Those are the two most popular ones I picked up early on. They're not very sweet, I find. They do well. You know, they bloom at the right time for me, perform well. But these three here, the Boreal ones, are the ones that I am looking forward to the most. Because these are the ones that are very sweet. I've actually had these on order. Oh no, I already got them in the fall from Honeyberry USA. I planted these this past fall. And you can see here, Solo and Maxi pollinate them because they're all late blooming. They all will pollinate each other. And the flavors. So this one, Tang and Zing, is probably the best ever, similar to Aura. But I'm looking for ones that are very sweet. I think need to find is ones with high bricks. As an 18 bricks. We're looking for something at some point in the future to have a bricks of somewhere between probably 18 would be the minimum. Maybe like 24. You know, I think they really go nuts with try to get them even. This would be best, right? This would be the best scenario for it. I think I picked up Boreal Beast, one of them, and I think Blizzard was the other one. And this one has a 13 bricks. And but the chart that I showed you guys on Instagram, this chart tells me which of these are sweet. Go to the sweet flavor here, scroll down. Yeah, here it is right here. Sweet flavor. Real Blizzard, Beauty. The other one here, well, Beast. But we need to get in this category here, I think. Because they need to hang for a long time. They need to be blue, first off, for like 3 weeks. Almost drop off the plant. You pick that up and eat that. That should be the sweetest it gets. And at that point, be like somewhere like 8 to 20 on the bricks. Otherwise, they're a bit difficult to eat. But you can eat them in different things. Right? You can eat them and you can make wine out of them. They're extremely complex. They have a really nice wild, a berry flavor that I've never tried before in anything. So the berry flavor is incredible. Hey guys, we're approaching, I think, the hour mark. We're at 1 hour and 55 minutes. So we're gonna wrap it up in the next 10 to 15 minutes here, guys. If there's any more questions, please let me know. Anything you guys want me to talk about, whether it's figs or all, let me know. I just want to reiterate that if you guys didn't already send me an email, you may already be at the 20 mark. So if you guys, if I haven't already received 20 by now, we are doing the cutting giveaway. That Gil had donated cuttings. We're also donating myself some cuttings for my. We're doing that giveaway. So you got to send me the email, include your address, include the number 1 variety that you would like, the second variety that you would like. I'll guarantee one of those varieties. I will try to include extras I have for my own tree. Varieties that I have are Mega Celeste, Madeline's Green Greek, and Colonel Littman's Black Cross. So I also would recommend, guys, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook. This Instagram.com/RossRaddi. It's the same tag as my YouTube channel. Those of you guys who are willing to support me in other ways, I would greatly appreciate that too. We just created a Patreon page. Patreon is a subscription-based service that a lot of people, a lot of artists can get a following and get some kind of support that way. So far, the tier that I'm offering is $4.99. This way, I will give you guys my insight the best way I know possible. We just did a video that Adam had put out. Adam had sent me a video asking me questions, and because he is a Patreon subscriber, I answered his questions in a video. New backyard orchard and fig collection. Adam had sent me this video of his fig collection and his chard, and I critiqued and answered questions that he asked me best way I could. I also want to mention that we have very little things left on Big Bid here, guys. That's it for this. If you're interested in cuttings, this is it. You're gonna have to wait until I have some coming out in the springtime. What else do I want to mention? I want to mention that. Oh, I had these pears, guys. I'll probably put on Facebook or Instagram in the next couple of days. This pear I picked up from Harry and David. They're those guys that send out fruit boxes for like the holidays. Kind of like gift boxes of goodies. One of our clients sent us a box. It had 2 apples in it. Pretty good apples, I have to say. They're very crisp flavor. The pear is unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. This is the best pear I ever had, by far. It's called the Royal Riviera pear. You can go to Harry and David and get those gift baskets. You can buy the pears yourself. Anyway, I found out that the variety of this pear, because it was so good I had to grow it. I found out that it's just the calmest pear. So, incredible that this is not like a patented variety, because if it was, I'd be very upset, and then that way I wouldn't be able to grow it. But everyone can grow this pear. Pretty sick. The other thing I want to mention is that my spreadsheet is always available to you guys in the description of every video I ever put out. You guys can go here and see all the information of everything I'm doing, favorite groups, figs that I recommend for my climate, figs that are very similar to each other, whether they're similar or not, figs I recommend for commercial that have some commercial ability to them. This needs a lot of improving. Figs that are Smyrnas, we still need to add more to this list. You also can see every fig that I'm growing right now. This list will change dramatically, guys, come spring, with all of the ratings I give to all the figs, guys. We're going to be coming out with a video. If I go to the Creator Studio here, we have a video I think coming out tomorrow or the next day on my highest rated figs. So all the figs that I thought were the best taste in 2008, we did a video on that. Okay, it's coming out December 31st, New Year's Eve. This is the video you guys should look out for, which varieties I but yeah, we also have what I have my to-do list here. We have to put figs in the ground. We have to up pot some things. We're going to be grafting a lot of things. This is the rootstock I'm selecting here, guys, so you know what I am selecting as rootstock. None of this, of course, is 100% accurate. Date. And things may change, for sure. So, you know, not gospel. This here is a list of all the other fruits that I'm growing. But in honesty, this is not updated either. I need to spend some time this time and update this. I've gotten rid of some things, put a lot of things in the ground. All of my persimmons are now in the ground because of how good they are. Here's my garden plans for next year. This, of course, will change. But this is we did a video on this talking about my garden plan for the year. Here's that video. There you go. 2019 garden plans, new and interesting crops. Yeah, I mean, spreadsheet is. Jerry says, can you add some tabs in your spreadsheet for varieties and pawpaws best in your? I don't have recommendations for pawpaw. I didn't know that some did better. Some do better in certain locations. I can't imagine that some better others by that much aren't that. But persimmons for sure, I can make a tab for that. I can do that, Jerry. I'm glad you enjoying it and there for you guys. Well, it's there for me, but I share it with everybody. Eric, welcome. Ryan's here. Okay. Brian. Okay, I missed a couple questions here. Again, we're gonna end this, guys, in a 5-10 minutes. If you guys have any more questions? Now's the time. Okay. Okay, so John Eggleton said, what about humic acid? Have you tried it? I have, with great result. I have not. The thing I'm trying this year is mycorrhizae. Inoculating all of my garden beds with that. All of my potted plants all be inoculated with mycorrhizae. It's obvious that the benefits are. There's a ton of benefits to acid. It's hard to get. I think that the biggest problem with humic acid is that expensive quantity in which you get it in is not that much. But I'm sure, right? I think you can create your own humic acid, right? And just by having things compost down, I think how the forest creates its own acid. Is that correct? Okay, so Helen said, very informative live video. Great info. You're welcome, Helen. Thank you. And she says, I got her started on her garden. ever, the first garden ever. That's really cool. That's really awesome. It's amazing when someone comes up to me, whether I met them in person. I believe it or not, I've met some guys in person, or somebody who sends me an email or a private message or some kind of comment. They say, Ross, thank you for inspiring me to do blank. That is the coolest thing you guys can say as a YouTuber, as a creator. It really does mean a lot. And it never gets old. Rigo says, thanks, Ross. I'm hoping to taste my first fig this year, whether fig out or from the farmer's market. Well, good luck. Live in California. I think you live in California, right, Rigo? And you should have no problem getting figs. If you're not getting figs, you need to adjust your green thumb. But I would suggest getting to the point where you're running out of days. You got 90 days left of your season. Try pinching. It works. TJ Thoreau says, I'm Zom V on our figs. Hello, I've seen your name on our figs before. Big thanks to Ross for encouraging people to post on our figs. That forum is awesome. Our figs is awesome. A lot of you guys are on that forum, so I'm sure you guys already know, but a really nice forum that moderators and Wills have put together to create a nice do a nice job. I have been a part of our figs for a long time, and it is the best fig forum. It is the best fig resource that I know of. It's better than any of the Facebook groups. Jason E-Bill says, glad to see your wine game is improving. Yeah, this stuff's really good. Ivasari Barba. It's amazing. It really does. It has an incredible flavor, and I'm a little tipsy, but I haven't really drunk all that much, guys. Since we've been on camera, I've only drunk one glass. 2 hours. Let's see. Wayne says, Ross is encouraging me to grow a lot of new stuff for next season. Lots of berries. Yeah, I mean, honestly, guys, this is the honest truth. I've gotten to a point where in my life it is very difficult to anything bought from the store. I'm becoming spoiled. I'm becoming a snob. I cannot eat store-bought fruits and vegetables. I just can't do it. There's certain things that are just significantly different in the quality. There are very few fruits I will eat, which are like bananas, and even bananas are not that good at the store, even though everybody loves them for some reason. Apples, berries, and I guess tropical fruits. I have no choice, right? But for the most part, you grow it, and it's going to be better than the store by a significant amount. That you're going to say to yourself, "Why was I ever buying this?" Something like a strawberry or a blackberry or a raspberry, they're the easiest things to grow in my climate. Protect them from animals. Nothing bothers them. Don't need to water them. They produce every year reliably, no matter what crazy weather is doing. And I will never eat a store-bought strawberry again. The blackberries and raspberries from the store are okay, but they just come in such abundance, hard that doesn't make sense. And $3 on a little pint of raspberries. That's if you get it organic, it's even more. Steve-O said, I would like to see more growing pawpaws. Yeah. Easy to grow and taste great. Pure cultivars are much better than the wild form. Yeah. Steve, if you have pawpaw recommendations, I'd love to hear about it. Our message book. Certainly, I should be growing more pawpaw, but I haven't dedicated the space because I know that at some point I'm going to be seeing this property. They just take a lot longer. I also don't have the land and the space. Take a lot of things I can, so I'm going to dig up a lot of things if I can dig them up. But pawpaws are not one of those things, right? You don't want to dig those things. Christopher said, if you get early, if you get in early September, November, you can get strawberry seedling apartments. Yeah, right. In fact, I ordered some things of Virginiana rootstock, which is stock, and I ordered mulberry rootstock from Missouri Conservation. I swear I posted about this too. I don't see it. It didn't post on Instagram. Sometimes my posts on Instagram don't go through, but I swear I let you guys know that I was doing it. Oh, you know what? I did it in an episode of Talk or something. Let's see. I would like to grow pawpaws, but yeah, I mean, you can grow tropical forms of pawpaws. The pawpaws related to lots of different fruits. Paramoya, Atamoya, let's see. Pawpaw. You can do this right here and look up what it's. Here we go. Custard apple, cherimoya, sour sop. I mean, you can grow all these maybe where you live. They're all related. They have a similar flavor. Yeah, Missouri Department of Conservation. Julio says, thank you, Ross. I've learned a lot from your. Welcome. Did I find out what variety the persimmon was? I think it's Honan Red. My friend Dennis commented and certain that it is Honan Red. I think it is. I can't imagine. I don't know what else it could be. Someone said that it is. Pollination. Could have been right. I don't remember. With the variety, it's like the best persimmon variety, but it's regarded as the best. Better than sage as a non-astringent. Or as a non-astringent. Okay, so trying your fig berries are insane. I want them all. Brian has an amazing fig. He has one of the best fig collections. And he probably has the most. Probably has the best. And it's taste. What's up, artichokes? Amy says thank you, welcome. Willa says thank you, welcome. Yep. Let's see. Jack says AM Leonard AM Leo sells humic acid 40-pound bags. Whoa. Really? Okay, I'll check that out. Kristen says I'm Fig Man. Our Fig. Okay. Dale says enjoyed the live feed. Welcome. Christopher says the mango pawpaw from Starks is. I have mango. I have. It's taking forever. I have them in. They're in a shady spot, I think. Spoiled there. I've been building it up for a long time. Hey Paul. Paul says recommendation varieties. Well, Paul, I have a whole spreadsheet. You can go to this. Is in every description, every video I've ever put out, and you can go to this this link here or this sheet here. Top performing figs, my area spreadsheet. This one has all the recommendations I recommend. So far, just this column is what I really like, and I've heard good things about, or myself have grown. Really enjoyed. I really like Smith. I like Pastelliere. Campanile is going to be good. I think those are probably going to be my top three. Oh, Ishia Black UC Davis is probably up there as well because it's actually a mid-season fig. I've heard from different sources that have had Ishia Black for mid-season fig, and Ishia Black probably tastier than. As a mid-season slot, Ishia Black could potentially beat Smith. Incredible. I'm excited to try some of these new ones I have this year. We're going to be putting a lot more in the ground. This is a very small list, actually, more than this. We're going to be moving some things around. I'm going to try to document that the best I can, but it's difficult sometimes when I don't have somebody filming me. Anyway, guys, that is the video. My voice is shot. I need some water. I want to, again, thank everybody for joining in on this live stream. Everybody supported me, whether it's through merchandise, through subscribing, just commenting on any of the videos. All my Patreon subscribers, you guys are the best. Anyone that I've been made friends with, traded something, you have sent me something really nice of you guys. Everything is. Have a wonderful holiday. Have a happy new year. Yeah, guys, for the